Now, good afternoon and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Aha, had the mic muted. Thanks so much for joining us a little early this afternoon. Got some moving and shaking. Gonna do some trunk or treating, and we're gonna have the cutest little. Hey, which costume is she wearing tonight? She's a strawberry. I didn't even know we had a strawberry costume. This child has more Halloween costumes than I have clothes. So apparently she's going to be a strawberry tonight. She was Bullseye the Target dog last night, and she still has another Halloween costume. So that's what happens when you got the 18-month-old that has no negotiating response. It just has to have all the candy, then doesn't eat all the candy, which means I have to eat all the candy, and I need to go to the dentist. Anyway, let's take a look at the satellite, and there is some tweaks in the forecast for tomorrow. So if you have some trunk or treat plans or some Halloween plans tomorrow night, you may have to keep an eye on the radar. Not saying cancel them because the rain is fairly scattered. The clouds have been pesky today and have kept temperatures down in most locations through the course of the afternoon. In fact, I don't even think we've seen the 70-degree mark for the vast majority of the area. But where we've seen some late clearing, we're in the low to mid-70s. 71 in Jonesboro and Columbia, 75 in Winfield, 73 in Natchez. Winds are not much of a factor. They're out of the north and northeast and generally fairly light in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. But those will pick up as the front approaches tomorrow and as it passes through the area tomorrow. The pressure gradient winds even going into the day on Wednesday will be quite strong. So expect the winds to stay. These are gusts, by the way. These are not sustained winds, but generally out of the south ahead of the front and then out of the west and northwest. And through the day on Wednesday could be quite breezy. Gusts maybe to the 30 to 35 mile an hour range through the late morning and early afternoon. Sustained winds at least 15 to 20, maybe in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. Now, those winds should subside a little bit as we go into the day on Thursday, but middle part of this week will be quite breezy. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. Again, hunting and holiday season is upon us, and there is a limited stock of youth side-by-sides and ATVs, so go see Mike and the guys. And again, tell them that Jared sent you, and they may ask you to leave. Again, could see a few scattered showers as early as tomorrow morning across southern Arkansas. Most of that would be very spotty and very light. And then the front starts to move into the region tomorrow afternoon. Again, most of the storm potential is fairly scattered. Not everyone's going to see a thunderstorm tomorrow. Not everyone's going to see rain tomorrow. But where we do see some thunderstorms, there's enough cold air aloft that we could get a few hail-producing thunderstorms. Maybe even non-severe hail, pea-size, penny-size, those types of things are a possibility. So that's something, that's really the only hazard to keep an eye on through the day tomorrow. The rest of the severe weather hazards look fairly low, at least how things pan out now. Futurecast kind of jumps on a little bit of the hail bandwagon across southeastern Arkansas, which ironically, those areas are not under the severe weather risk. But again, the strongest of storms may produce some small hail, perhaps the strongest of the storms getting up to quarter-sized hail. So again, that's where the severe weather risk comes in tomorrow. And speaking of the severe weather risk, there it is. Again, made possible by Allegiance Health Network, and it shows the chance of the marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 severe weather categories, mainly focused across northwestern Louisiana as the storms initially develop tomorrow afternoon. They won't have much of an environment to work with, but again, that initial burst of storms may produce some severe hail as they move off to the east. Again, not everyone's going to see storms tomorrow. Not everyone's going to see rain. In terms of the rain totals, most of this moves off to the east pretty quickly, so any one particular area probably picking up a couple of tenths of an inch of rainfall. Obviously, some thunderstorm-driven rains may be a little bit heavier than that. Let's take a look at what's going on with Hurricane Melissa, and I actually have these graphics backwards, and so I'm just going to kind of switch this on the fly. As we look at this storm, maximum sustained winds now at 175 miles per hour as the storm continues out over the open waters of the Caribbean. And if you've looked at it over the last few days, I know for vacation goers, it's one thing, but for folks that live there, it's something completely different. And the statuses and the messages that have come in from the National Hurricane Center today. In fact, one of the Hurricane Hunter flights had to end its mission early, abort its mission due to severe turbulence in the I believe it was the southwestern quadrant of the eye wall. If you know the hurricane hunters, they fly into hurricanes and the intense ones rather routinely. So to see one of the flights have to end its mission early, it kind of shows you how strong this storm is. Maximum sustained winds, as I mentioned, at 175 miles per hour. Gusts likely higher than that as the storm has started to make that northerly turn. Now currently northwest, but still very slowly. If there's any positive news, and this is the forecast over the next 3 days, is that it's finally going to leave the area. The downside is it's going to make landfall along the Jamaican coastline, then probably along the Cuban coastline, then perhaps another landfall through the southeastern Bahamas before it turns toward Bermuda. So this will be a very impactful storm in the Atlantic Basin for a season that has been very quiet for the United States. It does, again, it's just a very, very unfortunate scenario for our neighbors to the southeast. And so, again, it's something that we'll watch over the next few days, and you're going to see a lot of footage of the landslides and the wind damage. I can't imagine the rain that those folks have seen and the landslide issues that they've probably already encountered. Now you're bringing 175-mile-an-hour winds toward the coast. It's really unimaginable when you think about that. All right, so try to pivot a little bit and look at the forecast for tonight. Lows will fall back into the mid to upper 50s. The rain chances for most areas overnight are pretty close to zero. If you check the app across southern Arkansas, your rain chances are at around 10%, depending on location. Again, the app forecast is dependent on your zip code or whatever locations you put in, so it's a very specified forecast. Daytime highs tomorrow, mid-70s, if we can get there. Considering the cloud cover that we saw today and how much cloud cover we expect tomorrow, some spots may get stopped in the low end of the 70s. It will be breezy at times. Winds will start the day out of the south and southwest, end the day out of the west and northwest, and those winds will pick up as we go through the day on Wednesday. Again, daytime highs may struggle to get out of the 50s depending on how the cloud cover treats us, and I would expect quite a bit of cloud cover on Wednesday. Again, most of us may struggle to get out of the 50s through the daytime. Coldest morning appears to be Friday morning, Halloween morning, when many spots will be in the upper 30s to low 40s. I think 38 or 39 is a possibility for some spots. In terms of frost formation, it's too early to really speculate too much on that, but I would think that it could, in theory, be an outlying possibility across parts of southern Arkansas. Aside from that, it shouldn't be a widespread concern. We will see a little bit of a warming trend as we lose an hour of daylight this weekend, and high temperatures back in the low to mid-70s by then, and morning lows in the 40s. And, of course, that means as we fall back an hour that it'll be getting dark super, super early, and that makes everybody so happy. And we added, I finally got around to adding the ability to add the little pumpkins and the little icons to the holiday stuff. That's just something that I had not made a priority, and I made a priority today because I asked my wife, how important is it for you to see a pumpkin on Friday? And she said, don't be a troll, put a pumpkin on Friday. And so I did. And so I hope she enjoys it. Again, we're going to be out trunk-or-treating at ULM, and so if you're out there today, say hello to us, and if you see me in jogging pants and a pullover, mind your business. I can wear whatever I want now. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. You can, of course, download the Digital Weather Desk app, which is now available for Android and Apple users, or you can just check the forecast at digitalweatherdesk.com. I'll catch you later. I'll catch you first thing tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at the forecast and the storm potential through the day on Tuesday, the windy conditions, all that stuff. Your fish and game forecast comes out a little bit later this evening at 8 p.m.